Hello everyone, my name is Grayson and welcome to Disturbed. This is a visual novel point-and-click horror adventure that is free. It is on Steam. You play as a farmer who is struggling to manage a failing farm, and then you come to a point where there's no more hope and you must do something. I don't know what that means, but some of the imagery on the Steam page were a little haunting. So I've heard that the game isn't really outright scary, it's just very creepy and sort of haunting, but we will see. I know that there's almost jump scares in this, so let's get going. Start game. Another dull day passes as you struggle to manage your failing farm. Your crops are beginning to wilt and your cow is sick. For some time, the land has been very quiet. The air has grown thick and foul. Each passing day, you feel more uncertain if things will ever return to how they were before. Perhaps it is up to you? You've made up your mind. You're going to do something about it. You stand in front of your humble home, pondering what you should do next. Well, let's see. Crops, house, or shed? Let's go take a look at our crops. A path divides the crops you have labored so hard to prosper these past months. A penetrating odor reminds you that your plants here are decaying away, and time is running short. Let's see where the path takes us. You continue down the trail for a while until you see a cave off in the distance. You pause, questioning if there could be something helpful in there. Well, let's go into the cave. There's a faint whistle from the wind passing between the rocks. The temperature significantly cools as you enter the cave. Is this like a multiple endings game? Like, am I just gonna get myself killed? You notice that there's a different smell, but you welcome it, comparing it to the deathly blight found outside. Go further into the cave. Oh, shh. Before you take your next step, a large bear emerges from the darkness. You realize you have made a terrible mistake, even thinking that something helpful can be in here. Fight the bear! You scan the ground and notice that there are numerous rocks you can grab to throw at the bear. You begin to do so as the bear approaches you. One after the other, you throw rocks as hard as you can. The bear charges at you as you bend over to grab another rock. Tackling you to the ground, the bear bites into your neck. Your body quickly goes limp and you die. Your adventure ends here. Okay. I did it. I'm like an AI. I just pick the top option in every split until I die. Alright, let's start game. Okay. Where's F is skip? There we go. Oh, it also unfull screens me here. Skip, what? Skip, there we go. Okay, let's go back to the crops. And, no, let's go in the house. Entering the house, you feel a subtle uneasiness, as if the growing blight outside has penetrated the walls of your safe haven. From what you see, however, everything is the same as you left it. Perhaps this may be a good time to just lay in bed and wish that your problems will just go away. Hey, I do that all the time. You fight the notion, but the temptation is still there. Read in your journal, open the chest, lay in the bed. Well, if we're contemplating doing nothing to fix our problems, we're going to lay in the bed. You lay in your bed and fall asleep to the light sound of wind blowing outside against the grass. You begin to hear whispers and chants, but you can't make anything of it. An image appears before you, a stone, glowing as if it were alive. The chants get louder as your vision grows in more detail. You reach towards the stone with your hand. As your finger makes contact, a clash of thunder rattles around you. Your clothing and skin start to flake away like dust in the wind. The particles flow into the stone, sapping the life from your body. You feel this pain you have never experienced before, and fear begins to flood over you. Oh, jeez. You suddenly see yourself laying in bed, never to wake up again. That's the icon for the game down in the tray. Your adventure ends here. You got an achievement. I am your nightmare. All right. Let's do something else here. Go into the shed. You attempt to open the shed door, but the door won't budge. You remember locking it some time ago, but you can't remember what you did with the key. Well, let's go in the house, and let's open the chest we have here. You open the chest and find nothing more than a pile of papers. It seems you have less valuables than you anticipated. You close the chest. Okay, read in my journal. Dear Journal, another useful day on the farm. Or usual, not useful. The crops are growing with good health. Bethany is also doing quite well. Never disappointed with the milk she provides. If things continue to go well, I may be able to invest in more animals. A farmer can only be so social with a cow. Dear Journal, today has been an unfortunate day. Somebody broke into my shed and stole some things. I usually don't mind if somebody steals a bite to eat from the garden, but to take my equipment, well, I put a lock on the door and hid the key. No one will ever get into my stuff again. Dear Journal, I woke one night to a foul smell I've never come across before. I took a step outside to see what I could find, but I found nothing after searching about the farm. Whatever it is, it must be bad. I should make a trip into the city to see what this is about. So, I don't know where I hid the key. Wonder if can I consider the missing key now? No, let's go to the crops. Path divides the crops, right? Let's go into the pen. A toxic fume burns your nose as you enter the pen. Your poor cow lays lifeless on the ground as a growing blight slowly begins to consume her body. You feel sick to your stomach as you stand here, especially as you stare at the black mushrooms that dot the ground. Grab a mushroom. Oh. You kneel down and grab a mushroom. As you begin to rip it out of the ground, a cloud of spores sprays from the mushroom. Your hands begin to burn and melt as you observe them. Slowly, your body shrivels up into a dark, moist consistency as the poison spreads. You die, eventually, after crawling about on the ground. Your adventure ends here. Alright. What else can we do here? Oh, skip. Here we go. Go to the crops. Let's follow the path. Let's continue down the path. You come to a stop as you stumble upon a broken wagon. Inspect the wagon. You look about the mess and find bits of food and clothes scattered about the scene. You notice a key on the ground during your search. You pick up the key and continue on your way. After what felt like an hour or two, you reach a bridge. Nearby, the path is a small shack, similar to the house you have on the farm. The man that lives here is a kind fellow, from what you recall. Maybe he's home? I'd like to go back home with my key. Guess we'll inspect the shack. You walk towards the structure and knock on the door. You scratch the back of your head, figuring that the person that lives here is currently occupied, if not elsewhere. You remember picking up a key from the wagon, and you use it on the door. The door unlocks. Oh, you decide to help yourself in. Observing the empty room, you realize something terrible must have taken place here. The room is a wreck, just like the wagon. Look at that disturbing hatch. You're overcome with fear as you think of the man that used to dwell here. Open the trap door. You observe a trap and notice... You observe the trap door and notice a lock keeping it closed. With the key, you unlock the hatch and get it open. Without thinking, you travel downward. Walking down the steps leading below, the air attacks your body with a piercing cold. You notice immediately that there is a woman chained to the wall. Oh god, I've seen this thriller. She doesn't seem to notice you as you study her. You feel darkness surround you as you stay in this awful place. Talk to the woman? You tremble as you try to form words in your mouth. You there, let me out of here! The pressure of such a demand makes you freeze. You take a moment to think about the situation. What is there to think about? Free this woman! What got you locked up? Oops, okay. What got you locked up to begin with? You'll never believe me even if I told you the truth. What do you mean? This woman's been taken prisoner. Something brought you here. Please have mercy on me. I'm gonna die. You approach the woman and unlock the shackles that bind her. Her arms become free. She moans in pain. Oh, thank you so much. The woman struggles to regain her strength but starts to stand up on her own. As she gets up, she turns towards you. I will now do you a favor. What seemed to be the face of a helpless woman disappears as a horrible image manifests itself before you. You feel the chilling grip of bone hands lock onto your arms. Energy flees from your body and you fall to your knees. You feel the essence of your life slip away as everything goes black. It is unfortunate that your journey ends here. The Damsel in Distress achievement. This is interesting. Choose your own adventure. But it's very... Yeah, it's very dark. This is pretty cool. All right, let me get to something else. Okay, so let's inspect the water in the pen. You inspect the water, looking for anything abnormal. You notice that the water has a dark consistency to it. Dropping a stone into it, black particles from the bottom swirl about like a thunderstorm. Your face shrivels in disgust. Well, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. Let's go mess with a bear. Like without actually fighting it. So if we go into the cave, Does something interesting happen if we back out? Like, okay, if we go further in the cave, the bear shows up, and we run away. The moment you turn to run, the bear roars with a deep growl, shaking the loose stones about the cave. All you can think about is making it back home in one piece. Well, you make it to the trail, then the bear catches up with you, tackling you to the ground. You scream in pain as the bear rips you apart. Your adventure ends here. Whoops. So we're back in the guy's house, so we're gonna not open the trapdoor. Let's inspect the book on the table. Pick up the book and start to flip through the pages. You discover that this is a journal. Reading a passage or two can't hurt. Just sneak into some guy's house and read his shit. Today's trading went smoothly, thank goodness. What I am thrilled most about, however, is what one of my buddies mentioned to me at the conclusion of our day. Apparently, spelled incorrectly, there is a pond nearby that has some of the biggest fish in the region. With a good catch, I can make enough to move things forward. I was caught off guard when he mentioned that nobody has been able to catch any from there. I guess your typical fishing rod won't do the trick. But what can be done about it then? Something to be intrigued about, I suppose. These past couple weeks have been really rough for me. My trading business has gone under and I have lost nearly everything I own. This has pushed me to extremes, but that can't be helped now. I'm leaving this place forever, never to return. The land is dying and there is nothing but darkness here. Anyone reading this should leave while they can. Can't find a name to give this man, but regardless of the name, you've got chills running down your spine. So what if I go down here and then just leave? So like, there's a lady down here. Talk to the woman. Take a moment to think about it. Decline. I will not. No, don't go! With nothing else to interact with, you make your way up the stairs. As you exit, you can hear the woman laugh behind you. The voice causes the shack to shake. You leave the shack as fast as you could. Yeah. You cross the bridge before something bad can happen. You cross the bridge safely and continue down the trail. I'm surprised I didn't die crossing the bridge. After all that has happened, you feel you should take a moment to rest. You find a spot under a tree and sit down. Getting comfortable, you tilt your head back against the tree and gaze into the sky. Take a nap. Your eyes close and your body relaxes. You fall asleep within seconds. As your mind wanders, you see a blurry image. It's me! Details emerge as you gaze. You wonder who this might be. A bad feeling then overcomes you, and you realize who this is. You try to wake yourself up. You wake up and jump to your feet, looking about yourself and your surroundings. All seems well. You can't help but feel fearful that something bad will happen to you if you stay here. Moving forward seems like the only logical option now. You reach a point where the trail splits into two paths. Which way should you go? A left. After continuing down the path for some time, you come to a stop. You notice that there is some sort of trail that leads through the grass up towards a nearby hill. If you had not stopped, you probably would never have noticed. Which way do you go? Oh, take the grass trail. Absolutely. Bonfire. Following the subtle trail in the grass, you stumble upon what looks like a grave. Inspect the grave. You approach the grave. You look at the sword with intrigue. Before you can touch the sword, a ghostly figure appears before you. You freeze before the apparition. The sword, may I have it? The blade is cursed. I am bound here by the pain of my past. If you desire this sword, free me from it. You slowly motion for the sword. Fool! Only something of pure essence can free me. A rare hope like a flower found in darkness. Grab the sword. You reach for the sword. Before you can lay a finger on it, the spirit grabs your arm. A sharp pain flows over your body as your flesh melts off your bones. What fragments remain fall to the ground. I just keep dying. A cursed blade. Great. Your adventure ends here. Alright, well, let's continue on without inspecting the grave this time, since we don't have it. You pause to see that there is a lake nearby. The trail continues on to your right. Let's inspect the lake. You step near the lake and look down into it. Resting underwater is an orb of some sort, to ponder, sitting on the bottom of the lake. There's something strange about it, as if it were calling out to you. Dive in. What could go wrong? You close your eyes and jump into the lake. You open your eyes to see the stone sitting before you. You start to make your way towards it. Oh! A large fish comes into view. It quickly notices you with its mouth stretched open. You try to leave for the surface, but the fish catches up to you. You quickly find yourself helpless before the creature. How big is it? You close your eyes as the giant fish rips your body apart with its teeth. You die a very painful death. Your adventure ends here. What do you mean? Is that the lake that had the giant fish that the guy was talking about? Oh. All right, everybody. I apologize for a little bit of a time skip there. My recording software had my face and my mouse and the sound, but the video wasn't grabbing correctly. It was very strange. So essentially all I've managed to do since you saw last was I found a tree with knobs on it, and I touched all the knobs, and I fell into a cave, and I wandered around in the cave, and I went up into a tower, and that's where I am now. So I'm in a tower. I found a library with some really boring books. Let's move on. You walk up more stairs. You pause as you notice a stone carving of a person praying that is attached to the wall. Something odd about it, but you can't put your finger on it. With caution, you continue up the stairs. Oh, I also found a well that's the source of the poison, but I don't have anything to do with it. There's a large globe in the center. There's a chest. Let's open the chest. Approaching the chest, you notice that there's a lock fastened to it. With no key to unlock the chest, you decide to leave it alone. Okay. Let's continue. Oh. You climb the stair to find a wall ending your path. Above the end of the stairway is a hatch. Well, let's open the hatch. Open the hatch and pull yourself up. Oh, you made it to the top of the tower. Before you is a stone of power resting upon an altar of rock. Dark vines have entangled the structure as if they were feeding off the energies of the stone. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker being up here, as if the stone is sapping away your energy. Destroy the stone! This may be your only chance. You approach the stone and grasp onto it. You lose sight and feeling immediately as your hands become glued to the stone. Oh, damn it, I died again. This is like the 15th time I've died. Your life is drained from your body. Only bones remain to testify of your death. Your adventure ends here. You have no power here. This is the name of the achievement. Sick reference. Okay. Where the hell can I go now? So if I go back downstairs, maybe I need to check in these books. I did pick up a knife and rope. And what was the other object I've picked up? I think I've picked up something else. And there were also these statues downstairs that had fingies missing. So one had like one fingy and one had like two fingies, but I don't know what they're trying to tell me. I read this boring one. Let's read Rituals of the Ancients. Pillars of Stone. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go outside. Here's the fountain, by the way, that's filled with gunk. I'm going to exit the gated area. This is a one-way trip, unfortunately, so I can't go back in here unless I have to go back down to the caverns. But let's go back to where the fish was, now that I have a knife, and see if I can stab the fish. The trail is where I need to go. I don't have a way to deal with the curse. I don't know if I have an inventory. I don't. Okay. Inspect the lake. Yep, there's the orb that I want to ponder. Skip. Dive in. Okay, skip. Pull out your knife, point it at the fish. You're waving the knife around. You fail to deliver a fatal blow to the fish. You quickly find yourself helpless. Oh my god. That is unbelievable. How am I supposed to... Okay, do I have to recollect all the items if I start the game over? I'm going to go in here and see if I can stab the bear. If I can't stab the bear, I think I'm going to give up. Okay, there's the bear. Fight the bear. No, I have a knife. I have a knife. No. Damn it. Okay. So here's what I managed to do. I found the source of the corruption is like some kind of altar with a stone on it. And it's like feeding darkness into all the plants around here, and it's causing like this plague to kill all the crops and stuff. I found a fish that I can't kill who's guarding an orb that I want to ponder. I found a sword that I can't grab because it's being guarded by a ghost that I can't get rid of because he's cursed. I found a cursed stone on an altar that I can't touch or I die. So I think what the answer is, spoilers if you're going to do this yourself, but there's a Stonehenge and there's a slot for something in the middle. I think that's the orb. So I think to fight the fish, I probably need the sword. And to fight the sword, I need something to get rid of the curse, which must be something I use the knife to get rid of. And then once I finish the Stonehenge thing, I probably get some sort of magic that can destroy the stone on the top of the tower. So I'm missing something. Something killed me at some point that I could have beaten. Like, I need to get past the bear. I need to get past the bear somehow to see what's in the cave. Yeah. But I think I'm going to stop here with this one. So if you really want to see me try to actually complete the game, you know, let me know in the comments. I'll come back to it if you want me to. But I think I'm going to move on for more Spooktober extravaganza stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching.